naturally. So I'm Julian Lowenfeld. I'm the poet and the composer of some of the songs. This is Stephen Allen, the baritone, and this is John Bryden, the pianist. Being the hooligan that I am, I thought we'd start the concert with the encore, just in case any of you have to run. So the first thing on the program is Johann Sebastian Bach's Prelude in D flat minor, book 1 of the Well-Tempered Clavier. Haydn's Adagio in F.
There is so much emotion, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to all go through in this afternoon, that I've chosen to play this piece. Haydn was one of the most steady of all the composers, and it is just simple, beautiful classical music.
probably the most famous poem in the entire Russian language. In Russian, it's called "Я помню чудное мгновение." A wondrous moment I remember. Before me once you did appear. A fleeting vision you resembled of beauty's genius, pure and clear. By grief and languor hopeless rendered, beset by noisy vanity. Long time in me, your voice rang tender. Of your dear features were my dreams. Years passed, rebellious storm winds sundered and scattered hopes that used to be, and I forgot your voice so tender, your features dear and heavenly. In gloom of backwoods isolation, my days dragged by, a silent drudge, without God's spark or inspiration, or tears or any life or love. My soul awoke in precognition. Once again you did appear, resembling a fleeting vision of beauty's genius, pure and clear. And now my heart beats in elation, and resurrected, soar above the spark of God, an inspiration and life, and tears at last, and love. The next poem, believe it or not, also by Pushkin, was Fyodor Dostoevsky's favorite poem. You think, oh my God, it's going to be dark. It's not. It's called The Coming of Spring. Winter's chill blasts of wind are still blowing. Morning frost on the meadows still strewing. Yet on spring's thawed earth, shy amidst the snowdrifts, still the very first blossoms came blooming. And, as if from some magic wax kingdom, from its honeycomb cell so sweet-scented, the very first bee has come flying, or the very first blossom flies, flitting as a scout of the beautiful spring. Will thy dearest friends soon be arriving? Will the meadow soon green and be thriving? Will the curly-leafed birch soon be waving? Will it sprout silver light, slight leaves sticky? Will the wild cherries bloom with sweet fragrance? And now, a present for all of you, my dear Irish friends. I think it's your unofficial national anthem, in an arrangement by Benjamin Britten. After our Stephen and John perform it, I have a little surprise. I will not announce the title because you all know it.
I love and grass grows on our ways. But I was young and foolish, and now I'm full of
Now more or less in Russian, but an octave below.
Уивушек зеленых с любимой встречались мы, и ножки белоснежные вдоль ивушек прошли. Любили легко, как листья в ветвях, шептала на мне. Но я был глуп и молод, не соглашался с ней. Полюшке у речки с любимой встреча стояли мы, как томно плеч касание белоснежной ее руки. Она меня просила жить легко, как трава на брегах. Но я был глуп и молод, и ныне я весь в слезах. Now, a beautiful poem by Percy Bysshe Shelley, and this is actually the world concert premiere of this. So let's so. The
worship the heart lifts above, and the heavens rejected not. The desire of the moth for the star, of the night for the moon, the devotion to something afar from the sphere of our When through the noisy streets I wander, walk in cathedrals thronged that tease, and sit by crazy youths I ponder, and give myself up to my dreams. And then I say the years are passing, the multitudes we now see here will all pass neath that present basking, and someone's ours already near. I see an oak alone in autumn. This forest's patriarch, I think, will quite outlive my time forgotten, as he my father's time outlived. When I caress a child's head tender, I think already farewell soon. To you my place I now surrender, for I must wither, you must bloom. Each day and year now I'm amassing, I like to see off in my mind, guessing the dates of my unpassing, trying the right one to divine, and where will fate send me my dying, in battle wanderings or waves, or will the valley near my lying receive my ashes in its graves? For though the body without feeling will wither anywhere and keep, yet closer to a place endearing is where I feel I'd rather sleep. I'd like if by my graveyard's entrance a sweet young life would bloom and play, and nature shining with indifference.
sorry if that was a bit morbid, but as you know, poets, I guess there are two main themes. We have another poet in the house as well, Noel. I'm sure you'll agree with me. What do we brood about? Love and death, right? It's just what we deal with. So here is Pushkin on this theme. If sweet and youthful hope infused my every breath, if I believed my soul might somehow after death escape from mere decay, preserve its thoughts eternal, keep memories, keep love past the abyss's portal, I swear, I would have left this world long, long ago. I would have snuffed out life, let it base idle go, and flown off to a land of freedom, peace, and pleasures, a land where there's no death, nor prejudice's tethers, where purest thought in heaven's pureness streams. Yet vainly do I drift in such deceitful dreams. My stubborn mind objects, scorns hope that follows doom. Mere nothingness awaits me when I'm in my tomb. What? Nothingness? No thoughts? Not even a first love? I'm frightened. And with sadness once more, I look on my life and want to live long, long. So long one face endearing might set ablaze in secret my soul dreary. This is me. It's so I make my living actually as a lawyer, and this poem is called Lines on the Prospect of Death, written in room 3120, holding ticket number B33, 26 Federal Plaza, New York, 10278, waiting our turn for an immigration hearing in Trump's America. It's pretty depressing. Those sleepers shod in iron, in silence drinking gray, past hope, past tears, past tiring, they can't complain today. Though they can't hear the crickets in darkness quivering, or feel through dreaming thickets the fir trees shivering, no longer do they worry, fretting and fidgeting, and flurried, hurry, scurry, from thing to thing to thing. No more their dreams turn toxic, missing the wood for the trees, their kindness killed and caustic, unmoved by summer breeze. Those iron-shod soft sleepers, in stillness drinking gray, have peace, like chimney sweepers and golden girls at play. No more they suffer frenzied, freezing outside the door. But they're not to be envied, for they can love no more. Another meditation on death and love. Actually, this is a set of two poems for those in mourning. I've lost a lot of people recently, so you'll forgive me. There is no gilding death life's frame. What can we say? Mere words, uncertain and weak against the unforgiving loss and sharp shock of asunder? No consolation. All's deprivation, desolation. In this silence, nothing's gold, and mere words aren't solace for silence. Can the collected tears of crowds, relieved by all the music in the world, water that desert in the heart named never? There is no comfort, no meaning, no bright side, no silver lining, no quilt is warm enough, no hand squeaks tight enough, no prayers holy enough, prayers are words. There is no gilding death life's frame.
Yet love is above and beyond and transcends all loss, all hopes, all words. All griefs by love are somehow mended, and love lives on when life has ended. There is no gilding death-like spring, no words uncertain and weak heal the unforgiving loss and sharp shock of asunder. Yet we are blessed to mourn because we loved. When people die, they live another life again, briefly, in our renewed last memories. More vividly than ever we recall them. In their loss, we regain their essence in some way, and we are left with what they permanently left us, when they have permanently left us. When people die, some part of us dies too. Our world has changed, and there's no turning back, and there's no reason. Profoundest mystery, inconsolable absence, lost presence, the end. The cruel facts of no more, demolished palliatives. And in the face of death, there's no point hoarding life and clinging to its safeties to prolong our miseries. It's yet a blessing that we know a time will come when each of us will fall asleep in this world to wake in the next, if there is one. But this reminds us that we live to love. Love, too, is another death when you think about it, really. All the sacrifices, the sufferings love can't help but entail, the dissolution of the self irreparably, the mystery irreversible, the imminent passing of the imminent, the loss of all trappings, the inability to take the slightest thing along with us, but that spirit untangible whose very existence is unproven. Love is the afterlife. Even before life, my love. And it's been a little heavy, so let's lighten the mood a little. Pushkin's absolute Zen poem is called The Flower. A dried out flower without fragrance, forgotten in a book I see. My soul somehow already racing and fills with a strange reverie. Where did it bloom? In which spring? When? Did it bloom long? Who plucked it then? Was it a stranger or a friend? Who put it here, and to what end? In memory of tender trysting, or else of fateful parting day, or else perhaps of lone walk wistful in silent fields and wooded shade? Do he and she still live, I wonder? And where now is their little nook? Or have they faded, lost their luster, like this small flower in this book? Another piece of Zen. I'm actually going to read this in Russian. It's a short one, and I want you to just hear the music, and then I'll read my translation. Если жизнь тебя обманет, не печалься, не сердись, в день уныния смирись, день веселья верь настанет. Сердце в будущем живет, настоящее уныло, все мгновенно, все пройдет. Что пройдет, то будет мило. If perchance life should deceive you, be not gloomy, be not riled, to sad days be reconciled. Days of joy, believe, are near you. In the future the heart lives, though the present is not cheering, all's but a moment, passing swift. What is past will be endearing. And one last very dramatic poem by Pushkin. He was in love with the wife of the governor of southern. He'd been exiled from St. Petersburg down to what was then southern Russia, now is Odessa in Ukraine. The governor of southern Russia, he was based in Odessa. His name was Count Vorontsov, and his wife, Elizaveta, was very beautiful. It was not a happy marriage. It had been sort of arranged, and Elizaveta Vorontsova gave Pushkin a very famous ring, a talisman as it's called, and he wore it. It said on it, joy. He never took it off, even after he got married. He still kept the ring. It then passed to Turgenev. I can't remember who else. Oh, Zhukovsky, then Turgenev. And then I can't remember who, but it was in a museum. And of course, in 1917, it was looted and disappeared. That ring, I mean. But eventually, the governor of southern Russia got pretty upset. He decided to snoop on Pushkin. They perlustrated a letter of Pushkin's in which he expressed some, how should I put it, atheistic thoughts. And that was, in those days, expressing doubt under the Tsars was almost as dangerous as expressing faith under the commissars. So he got exiled again. And the story is that he received some letter from Ms. Vorontsova, and she asked him never to write him again and to burn the letter. That's the story. It may not be true. There's a lot of legends. So this is a poem called The Burnt Letter. Farewell, letter of love, farewell. It was her order. How long I have delayed, how long my poor hand dawdled, refused to drag my joy to flame. Enough. The time has come. Burn up, letter of love. I'm ready. Not a thing now is my soul perceiving. The greedy flame will soon your pages be receiving. 1 minute, sparks fly up. Its blazing light smoke flares and winds itself around, gets lost with all my prayers. A faithful seal, the former evidence, the melted wax, boils up. Oh, Providence, it's over. Pages dark and curl and crest, in ashes light now twirling their last traces blessed, they whiten. How my breast is tightened. Dearest ashes, poor joy and comfort of my fates, bleak hopeless passions, remain forever with me on my grieving breast.
Haydn wrote a rather delightful capriccio, a fantasy, and he said, in a moment of most excellent good humour, I have written a quite new capriccio for the pianoforte. The capriccio's tastefulness, singularity, and special construction, now listen to this carefully, cannot fail to win applause from connoisseurs and amateurs alike. He lived, of course, in the country on Prince Esterhazy's estate, and he was a country boy himself. I've been in his little birth cottage, and you will hear the hunting horn several times. Haydn also loved to surprise people.
There are two songs. One is to Pushkin, a very famous, it's called Our Hermit Fathers, and it's a very famous, so if any of you are Russian Orthodox, you know that Russian Orthodox ceremonies take place in Old Church Slavonic. Pushkin actually did, it's not exactly a translation, but he did a reworking, a sort of a confession and a reworking of a prayer that is spoken and actually repeated several times during a Russian Orthodox church service during the period of Great Lent. And the second song is, if you all are ever looked inside your Irish passport, you will have noticed that it has the words from the Lake Isle of Innisfree. So this is another gift from me to your wonderful country and wonderful people, whom I absolutely love with all my heart. So this is a song for you. So here goes.
flowers will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the green loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings, their midnight all a glimmer, and moon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway, or on the pavement's gray, I hear it in the deep heart's core.
So it wasn't a very Irish melody, but anyway. So we just had a prayer by Pushkin. And I don't know why, but I just felt we should have a prayer by Lermontov, another great Russian poet whom I translate. If you've ever seen the movie A Fish Called Wanda, it gets pronounced in the Russian in that movie. Well, not very well, but John Cleese tries. So I'm going to read it actually in Russian and then in English, because it's short. Молитва. В минуту жизни трудную теснится в сердце грусть. Одну молитву чудную твержу я наизусть. Есть сила благодатная, созвучий слов живых, и дышит непонятная, святая прелесть в них. С души, как бремя, скатится, сомнения далеко, и верится, и плачется, и так легко, легко. A prayer. My translation. When in life's minutes arduous, in my heart griefs do start, one wondrous prayer miraculous I do recite by heart. Some blessing in it lives, it heals through words' harmonious sounds. Mysterious grace it breathes and peals, with holy charm abounds. All burdens from my soul do sweep, all doubts fly out of sight, and I believe, and I do weep, and feel so light, so light. One of these days I'm going to read, when we have another concert and we have all kinds of time, I'll read a very long poem by Pushkin called Autumn. Maybe if we come back in the autumn. We don't have time for it because it's like 7 pages long. It's beautiful. It's almost as long as Keats's Season of Mists and Mellow Fruitfulness. But, so this is my, improv. So I often like to take a theme one poet does and then how would I say it or what does it bring up in me? So this one's called The Morning Fog in Central Park, and it's influenced by Pushkin, Autumn. The morning fog's soft, sweet, seductive silver drapes all the world in mournful veils of grace. Trees gleaming in the mist and splendor quiver. Fall says farewell with scarlet gold embrace. On holy ground I walk and pine and join the majesty and sadness of all things. On brink of tears, heart's joy in quiet flowing, in bird song, windless quiet, my soul sings. The cool air's crisp and bracingly delicious, a smoke tart tangs in its heart-warming chill. The leaves in dying sing that life is precious. The bare-branched oaks rejoice to stand so still. But feeble words seem now, like dead leaves fluttering. What mystery is love, profaned by talk? Though I'm alone, in wistful beauty wandering, to me, my love, it seems with you I walk.
Very good.
I read this after a few toasts at your wedding. You'll remember this one. It's about how opposites attract. The dawn fell in love with the twilight. The midnight in love with the noon. The neon in love with the starlight. The sun fell in love with the moon. The morning would marry the evening. The palm tree pines for the birch. The happy adores the grieving. The synagogue dotes on the church. The mountains cherish the sea. The ancient delights in the new. I can feel you still longing for me. Can you feel me still longing for you? Does celestial reason us summon our nature to rise above? What, my darling, have we in common? What matter if we have love? This one is called The Power of Sympathy. When squads of soldiers stride across a bridge, they must break step. If they did not, the rhythm of their boots pounding in unison could send such waves of sound resounding, then compounding, that spans over great harbor suddenly could sway and crack and crash into cold seas even on the calmest of days. Such is the power of our sympathy, our empathy, ineffably with kindness, like raindrops carving canyons over time, and yet transcending time. For even in dreams our sympathy but slumbers, waiting for one spark to blaze from thunders, waiting for one chance to work its wonders. My every thought of you lifts boulders from my heart, which then sings hymns and brims with fiery art. Although sometimes I want to die or just curl up in bed somewhere, although sometimes my pain inside seems more than anyone should bear, I do not want to leave this world without a gift, without a smile, without love's flag fully unfurled. For that will make my grief worthwhile. And though I ever long to roam and stare at atlases all day, still in my heart I miss my home, where I grew up, where I would stay. Yet, love, when I remember you, I put all homesickness aside, and light of heart with joy renewed, leave all that mattered once behind. This one was written in a beautiful place in Cape Breton Island called Pleasant Bay on a summer night. On nights so still, to the deep sea's rocking reel, the stars seem less indifferent in their nameless splendor. On nights so clear, God feels suddenly so near, winking with shooting stars at the bats that dart through the pines. You can hear even the hare's slight hops through the tall grass, the thistles waving in moonlight, whispering honeysuckle vines. Now and then a dog barks, or cars pass with trivial radio whines. Here and there a light sparks, and briefly the darkness shines. On nights so peaceful, in quiet so blissful, in silence so divine, would you were mine. All right, well, I promised a dear friend I'd read this one. Okay, and then back to music. It's called The Hour of Your Face. When first just a few lights turn on, my love, when first the sunset comes with empty hands to this longing world, darkening ruthlessly as a child's unanswered question, that is the hour of your face. Its colors are all my friends, slate gray as dreams or thunderclouds with cimbry undersides, green as pines through lazy windows, moonrise deep blue as memories of you, rust orange as schoolhouse bricks or cast-off traffic tickets the wind plays with, simmering while dimming in unreal warm light. That hour of your face sings to me shyly, glows in me, lingers, mining me for tears and always finding them. That hour never quite ends. Some mornings, in fluorescent courtrooms windowless, I still remain entranced by sunset's secret evensong, and I cannot hear judges mumbling adjournments and deportations through your voice remembered. And when dour marshals with guns open courtroom doors, they creak with the sound of rusty swings and distant playgrounds, where once you must have run, with tunes I don't yet know, of songs you must have sung. When first just a few lights turn on, my love, when first the sunset comes with empty hands to this longing world, darkening ruthlessly as a child's unanswered question, that is the hour of your face, that hour when bells ring out the ebbing light, yet inner lightness comes. That hour I mourn, that light by birthright mine, that hour of hope so long put out of mind. That is the hour of your face. The next song is called A Statue in Tsarskoye Selo. I'll just explain. Oh. Yes, Schumann. So, you're right. That's right, Schumann. Oh, from that. Yes, that was the idea. I forgot. Are you Schumann's Fantasy in C, Opus 17, the final movement. And I think it's the sexiest piece of music ever written. And now, I'm sorry about the order, I got mixed up. Now, a statue in Salley, where there was the school that Pushkin went to. He used to love walking in the gardens. And this is his poem about the statue that is there. And it's my song about it. This is a world premiere. Was a present for Nastya and Yaroslav for their wedding last year, and it's also a Yeats song.
Twilight, and has awaked in our hearts, my beloved, a sadness that may not die.
Happy anniversary, Mom.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Thank you. We have to do it again because Gary could miss it again. Last time we missed together, this time.
Oh, we'll do it again. All right, but not when he's back. He's not here now, so we'll go on to the next song, which is a drinking song. We're almost finished. Ready for tea. It's called October 19th. This is a misprint. October 19th, 1827. October 19th is a holiday in Russia. It was the day of the Lycée of Pushkin's Lyceum. It was too much to explain. It's in my book. He celebrated it like his spiritual birthday, the day of his beloved school. And every year, he wrote, actually not every year, but he wrote 7 poems commemorating this event. And usually the friends would get together and they would drink. But in this particular time, in 1827, many of the friends were exiled in Siberia. Some had been hanged, although some were working in the government. One was even Chancellor of the Russian Empire. So he loved them all, so he's trying to say he loves them all, which is difficult in Russia. But this is my musical version of it. Okay.
God help you all, my dear friends, in all life's cares, in sorrow's service, in friendship's wild carousing ferns, on all sweet sea.
How are you all doing? We only have 2 or 3 poems left to go, but maybe it's called Bacchanalian Song. How is it that joy lost its voice? Ring out, Bacchanalians, singing, and long live the maidens appealing, the lovely young wives who are so loving of us. So fill up your goblets now higher, with bright clean chime into the thick wine, let's drop rings of heartfelt desire. Let's raise up the glass, with one gulp relieve it, and long live the muses, and long live sweet reason. May you, holy sun, long burn on, as this little lamp pales and flickers before the clear rising of dawn. So every false wisdom but glances and withers before the immortal mind's spark. And long live the sunshine, and vanish be dark. I wanted that line to be on the statue. Long live the... Nobody thinks of Russian poets as being optimistic, but they can be. And then, so this is a very famous poem. Also, it's a drinking poem. It's to Pushkin's nanny, whom he loved very, very much. He loved her, I think, more than his mom or his wife or half of the women he wrote poems to. He really, really loved his nanny. And it's called A Winter Evening. Snowstorm, gloom-filled heavens drowning, wild the snowy whirlwind flies. Sometimes like a beast it's howling, sometimes like a child it cries. Sometimes on a roof's frayed border with a gust the straw resounds. Sometimes like a lost late wanderer on our little window pounds. Our ramshackle hut, half ruined, feels so dark by sadness crushed. Why do you, my dear old woman, by the window sit so hushed? Say, my friend, has the storm's muttering worn you out, brought you to heel, or are you just somewhat slumbering as you click your spinning wheel? Let's just drink, my dear old friend, from even when I was a poor young boy. Where's your mug now? Drink from grieving, and the heart will feel more joy. Sing for me your song, how Bluebird lived in peace beyond the sea. Sing how one morning a girl heard as to fetch water went she. Snowstorm, gloom-filled heavens drowning, wild the snowy whirlwind flies. Sometimes like a beast it's howling, sometimes like a child it cries. Let's just drink, my dear old friend, from even when I was a poor small boy. Where's your mug now? Drink from grieving, and the heart will feel more joy. I want to close. It was the 160th birthday of Yeats, if I'm not mistaken. Yesterday. I'm sure you all know this poem by heart, but just in case. It's when you are old and gray and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true, but one man loved the pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a cloud of stars. I'm sorry, amid a crowd of stars. Anyway. Oh, do you want to hear it in Russian?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Когда стара, седа, у очага уж дремлешь, Том сей раскрывай и медленно читай, и вспоминай свой нежный взор, что вглубь души так звал. Кто шарм грациозный твой не обожал, кто искренне ценил, тот только льстил, а страницу в тебе лишь я любил, и боль в лице, где легкий смех мелькал. И клеющим поленьем наклонясь, грустни слегка, как суженый сбежал, и с горем по горам похаживал, любовь средь звезд бессмертных вознеслась.
John has a surprise for us, right?